Celtic, Spanish, Arabic, Aboriginal, and blues music. Very interesting fusion. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Silk Road.
Hello, hi,
Hello.
ni hao, everybody.
Bonjour.
So, good morning. So, this is a really early morning for musicians. It's like a school show we're doing or something. We're going to open now, 9 o'clock.
We dared get up at 7 a.m.
All right, so we want to just begin with one piece and then go on with this. We haven't decided the rest of them, but we decide the first one.
Yeah, this is written by a friend of ours who was born here in Vancouver, actually. And she's a big fan of Brazilian music. She plays the flute and saxophone and jazz Brazilian music. So Jill Russell wrote this. It's called Check the Beans because in Brazil they drink lots of coffee. And it's music from the northeast of Brazil. So it's not the bossa nova or samba from Rio. No, this is more like country music, actually. They're usually played with accordions, but we switched to pipa. It gives it a different sound. Okay? There you go.
Wow. Wow. I'm gonna clap on behalf of everybody. We'll do a little everyone else can make jazz snappies and things. That was amazing. Hey,
Great.
before you play the next song, and thank you very much for sharing that with us, I was wondering if I could ask you this question. Now, although both string instruments, obviously, those two instruments and your two styles are actually quite different. How much effort does it take to hybridize and sort of create fusion that works between the two? Is that a challenge?
It's a lifetime.
It's a
Yeah,
lifetime.
Yes.
it's a lot
Wow.
of pain. A lot of
But
Yeah,
pain and
I
suffering.
imagine.
but so
I
the two
imagine.
instruments are far and close at the same time. Okay. So
Okay.
far is because the origin of the instrument. So this pipa, it's called PIPA, is a Chinese instrument. So obviously, it's in China has been played for thousands of years. So it has only four strings, and I play with fingernails that I have to tape the fingernails on. You see that? So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
plastic nails on the right hand when I play. And then this guitar obviously wasn't existed in China for a long time until the century. So come to China. So can you?
Yeah. Well, the how this developed is well, I've had an interest in all kinds of music all my life. I started out in Montreal, 16, playing rock and roll and rhythm and blues, but I always liked to hear Spanish guitar, so I was dabbling in it and taking lessons and Arabic music and some Japanese music and stuff. So always had that kind of interest and. I moved to the West Coast in the late 70s and played mostly Latin and jazzy Brazilian things and some Arabic music and stuff. So the interest kept going. And when
Mm,
Chusha moved here in 89, she met Randy Rain Rouge and Pepe Danza. And mostly the most important is Celso Machado,
wow.
who's a dear friend of ours, like family. And I was friends with him, playing with him, and she also met him. And so he had a big influence on her playing Brazilian music. And so we've been doing this now for 25 years, and
Wow.
it hasn't been painful. Yeah, we argue, we disagree on arrangements and things, but we keep going, and it's fun. And it's only happening because we're both kind of keen. I mean, we've seen many duos playing guitar and pipa, but it's always they're playing classical pieces, let's say,
Right.
arranged, and sometimes they'll play some folk music and improvise a little bit, but we take it right to the edge. We improvise like we were both improvising there, and Chusha's amazing. She learned to improvise on flamenco, on Brazilian music, on jazz, and so you got to have that curiosity. It's the only way it can work and develop into something that's worth playing for people, really.
Right, right. Well, it's very on brand, isn't it? And on theme for today. Creativity, the
And there,
boldness of daring, right? You really are the perfect musical duo for us today. So let's put over to you again for another song. Thank you very much for this, and thanks for being here today.
yeah, so we'll play another local composition by a piano player, a friend of ours, Ron Hadley, originally from Boston, amazing jazz piano player. And he wrote this next blues. It's a modern blues, so it's got a lot of very what they call chromatic chord patterns, incredibly interesting. And for Chusha to tackle this kind of melody on the pipa, it's been a lot of work for her to get into this kind of style, but I love to play this piece. It's called, and he wrote it for a shakuhachi player, which is a Japanese bamboo flute. So it's called Biwa Blues.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, thank you very much. So to continue with the waving patterns, so I'm going to play a traditional pattern which will waving the end. So this piece is called San Liu, which is 3 and 6, usually played in tea house. People improvise with between verses. So in music term is rondo, which is go back and go back and go back. So let's go back to the next one, to the next one, and continually forever.